Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you are all fine and in good health. Welcome to online sport program round 2. This is Mehak Batul, your chemistry teacher from APS Thamyad. In this week, we are going to cover our book page number 48 to 50 of chapter number 3, Periodic Table and Periodicity of Properties. In this lecture, we are going to understand the concept of obtaining the valence shell configuration, and we will discuss some basics about the shape of periodic table. So now let's begin with our first topic, that is obtaining the valence shell configuration of elements from their position of periodic table. In our previous lectures, we have already discussed that how you can calculate the position of any element of periodic table with the help of its valence shell electronic configuration. Our today's topic is just opposite of our previous topics. You need to recall our previous concepts for better understanding. So now let's start with our example for phosphorus. You need to calculate the valence shell configuration of phosphorus with the help of its position in periodic table. The problem solving strategy for that is that you know that the period number of an element represents the nth value of valence shell, while the group number represents the number of valence electrons. After finding out the period and group number from the periodic table, you simply need to distribute the electrons in the subshell of valence shell. So now let's start working on this problem solving strategy for phosphorus. Phosphorus have the symbol of capital P with atomic number 15. So here is the phosphorus in periodic table. As you can see from the periodic table that phosphorus is present in period number 3. It means the nth value for phosphorus is 3. Therefore, the valence shell is M shell. So, the valence electrons will be present in 3s and 3p subshells. Now, our second step is to find out its group number. So, you can see from periodic table that the phosphorus belongs to group 5a. So, there are 5 electrons in valence shell. Thus, the electronic configuration for phosphorus becomes 3s2 and 3p3. This is the valence shell electronic configuration for phosphorus. In this configuration, the 3 represents the period number and we have the group number of phosphorus, that is 5. So, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. The number of valence electrons represent the 5, which is group number. 3s2, as we know that S subshell accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. So we have put 2 electrons in 3s2 while in 3 electrons in 3p. So now let's discuss it with another example, that is for neon. Our problem solving strategy remains the same, which is that you need to remember that the period number of any element represents the nth value of the valence shell, while the group number represents the number of valence electrons. And after finding out the group and period number from periodic table, you need to distribute the electrons in the subshells of valence shell. So now let's locate the neon first. Here is the neon. It has a symbol of capital N and small e with atomic number 10. Now let's find out its group and period number from periodic table. As you can see from periodic table that it is present in period number 2, or neon is present in the second period of periodic table. As the nth value is 2, therefore the valence shell belongs to L shell. So the valence electrons will be present in 2s and 2p subshells. The group number from neon for neon is 8. You can see from periodic table that neon is present in group 8. So there are total 8 electrons in the valence shell. And here is the electronic configuration for valence shell of neon, which is 2s2 and 2p6. The 2 represents the nth value or the period number, while there are total 8 electrons. These are 6 plus 2, 8. which equals our group number for neon. So this is how you can calculate the valence shell electronic configuration of any element with the help of its position in the periodic table. Now let's move towards our second topic, that is the shape of periodic table. Recall that the horizontal rows in the periodic table are called periods. Now here is a question that how are these periods formed? As you know that the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. First period contains only two elements, that is hydrogen and helium. You can see from periodic table that the first period contain hydrogen and helium. Both these elements have valence electron in K shell. K shell cannot have more than 2 electrons. As K shell is completed at helium, so the first period ends at helium. Our next element is lithium, or we can say that the second period begins with lithium with symbol Li and ends at neon with symbol Ne. Lithium with atomic number 3 has 1 electron in L shell, so second period begins with lithium. Since L shell can accommodate 8 electrons, so 8 elements come in second period. And the second period ends at neon, which has 8 electrons in its valence shell. Its valence shell electronic configuration is 2s2 and 2p6. Next element is sodium. Our third period begins with sodium and ends at argon Ar. Sodium has a valence electrons in third shell. In sodium, the electrons are present in 3s subshells, which has similar electronic configuration than lithium, which has 2s1 valence shell electronic configuration. So, sodium is placed under the lithium. While for magnesium, Mg, it has the valence electrons in 3s2, which is placed under the beryllium, Be, which has the valence electron in 2s2. Similarly, the elements like aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon comes under boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphor, fluorine and neon. Our next element in our fourth period is K or potassium, which has the valence shell electronic configuration of 4s1, which is similar to sodium, that is 3s1. So K comes under sodium, and our new period, which is period number 4, begins with sodium. So this is how, or in this way, the elements having similar valence shell electronic configuration and properties comes in the same group. The arrangement of elements into the periods has an important consequence. The elements that have similar properties end up in the same group and in the periodic table. That's all for your lecture for this week. You need to solve the topic related self-assessment, that is 3.4, which I have already given to you in the document form. You need to review the example 3.3 and 3.4 from book page number 48. And in this week you have your project work, that is you need to design your own periodic table. Thank you very much. If you have any query, you can ask me right away.